Hi, YouTube. Hello. I think you're going to like what we have to share with you today. We're just going to go live on Facebook. All right. We're live. We're good. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a scam. It's not any huge secret. It's not here to put flashy dollar signs in front of your face. We're going to prove it to you as well without any doubt whatsoever. We're going to show you how to truly be successful, but truly be successful with a small trading account. Zero excuses. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. I see it all over the internet. You see it all the time. How you could be successful, how you can make $500 a day in 5 minutes. How I turned my $500 account into insert extremely large, obnoxiously large number here. And just following the so called gurus on the internet who again, just have trouble delivering to the majority of people. In fact, majority is an understatement. The truth is, gurus in the industry, myself used to be very included in this statistic, will generally decimate 95 to 99% of the people who sign up for the room. Now, what do I mean by decimate? It might not even be the guru's fault. It could be a psychology, a mentality. A lot of these gurus are truly considered by most standards phenomenal traders. They make money, and that is generally how these traders are judged. However, if you're in the industry and you're looking for a side hustle or some extra income, or you're working another job and you just want some extra money to take a vacation, pay down some bills, or maybe you want to do this job full time, it comes with a little bit of a curious issue. Now, I never really thought like this until I started speaking to people around me who are very successful, who started with truly small accounts in our room. And I asked these traders the questions, what kind of thoughts crossed your mind when you saw something like this? They said, well, Mark, I can see you make a lot of money, obviously. How much money do I really need to sort of replicate those results? And the funny thing is, when it comes to gurus, the traders around them cannot replicate the results at all. They tend to fail, they tend to slip. And again, I am not pointing the finger at the guru. Maybe it is partially the guru's fault, maybe it isn't at all. From a legal perspective, it is 100% on you and 0% responsible for the guru. If I tell you that I am dancing in a pit of fire and I dance through it unscathed on the other end, and you jump in and you basically get, decimated and disintegrated, did I, even though it's your fault, did I really lead you down the right path? So, how can you really be successful with a small trading account and zero excuses? This is not going to be a video that tries to glamorize the anyone can do it thing. Do you have $1,000 account? Then with this service, you can make 100 or 500 times your money. This is not going to be one of those nonsense videos. This is going to be a legitimate video for real people with real small accounts and actually showing them what they can really do. We're going to go over 3 simple steps. And if these 3 simple steps pass the sniff test, you will really be able to be successful. So let's just get right through it. And we're going to go through these 3 steps right now. And we're going to talk about how to truly be successful with a small trading account with zero excuses. And the first step is you must have a true edge, no nonsense, no flashy numbers, no Lambo, no yacht, no 4357 paradigm. You have to bat over 70%. And the reason for that is if you have a small account, you really don't have enough room for error. Maybe somebody like me can take $100,000 in losses before the market gets good and I could crush it and make another million. I would never drop $100,000 ever again for the rest of my life. I am way past that moment in my life right now, but you get the picture and the analogy I'm trying to share with you. If you're following any strategy or methodology that you're doing yourself and you see yourself batting, I mean, if it's less than 43%, that's, obviously obnoxiously bad. But if you're caught in the 43-57 paradigm, meaning your winning trades are right 43 to 57% of the time, you're not going to just be able to beat out the odds. I mean, let's say your strategy, let's take the midpoint and even say 50% of the time. If you flip a coin 10 times, how many times can you be wrong? If you're batting 50%, the truth is you could be wrong all 10 times. And even though that's not likely, odds are that you'll win five and lose five. You're going to have several times where you lose seven and win three and win six and lose four. I mean, you get the picture, but we're talking hundreds of trades here. We're talking a lot of money. So you have to bat over 70%. And you have to follow a community and a strategy, more importantly, that does indeed embrace these ideals. And I'm going to prove it to you. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss it. I will prove this to you. We're going to show you proof of this. Undeniable proof. What every guru out there will not show you, what every top I turn this into this room will not show you, actual proof of can a small account do it? And why is that important? Well, imagine I come to you with a simple sheet that goes ahead and tells you that, you know, I made $50,000 and I'm batting 100% this month. You might be like, well, you can't always be right 100% of the time, and I'll agree with you. But what if to make this $50,000, I bought 50,000 shares of Apple's common stock, which is trading at, $236 right now, as I speak. And if you are trading Apple's common stock at $236, you might stop and say, well, what is it going to take me to buy, 50,000 shares? It's going to take you, $11.8 million dollars. And if I bought those 50,000 shares and I went ahead and I sold the stock a dollar higher, or I did 25,000 shares and you needed 5.9 million and I sold it 2 points higher just to make that 50,000, it's going to look very nice on paper. But the truth is the traders with the small accounts will never be able to get here. And that is the point of the cost basis proceeds ratio. And I'm going to show you examples in the room, not just mine. I'm going to show you my example of what I did, how I do it, and then I'm going to show you example of others, because it's one thing when the guru can do it, and it's another thing when the members can do it. And I think that is a very important distinction. So just going back to this, follow a community that embraces these ideals. That's a shameless promotion here. We do it in the Newsbeat live room. I'm not going to be spamming you with links right now, but I do want to show you the proof. Yet you have to have a high cost basis proceeds ratio. Otherwise, you will never get there. And there is to be a successful trader. Now, you might read the story online of this one person or these two, three, four people out of tens of thousands of traders who are able to just miraculously do it. And I will show you people who played the lottery, the New York State or New Jersey State or any state lottery and won. That doesn't mean that it is a likely bet or a smart bet or that it even should be done. So just to get back, I just want to prove it to you on the cost basis side of my analysis here. So if I show you profit of $50,000, I could show you a win rate of, again, this is going to be an obnoxious thing, win rate of 100%. And let's say, for example, I bought 50,000 shares of Apple, as we showed was $11.8 million, would be the cost basis of this would be 11 point, let's just type it out so you guys can see what $11.8 million looks like. And if I sold it a point higher, my proceeds, just and you're gonna know, and you're gonna see what what Wall Street likes to do when they pitch these things. This is going to basically reveal them. Your proceeds would be $11.85 million dollars because you bought $11.8 million dollars worth of stock and you sold it for 11 0.85 million. This win rate doesn't matter. They could show you like a win rate of 52 or 53, or let's even go to the top end of my paradigm and let's even call it 57%. Let's call it the even win rate 57%. But unless they show you this, if this thing was, for example, cut out, and I just showed you this, and I said, hey guys, I have a strategy. This is how it works. I show you every single trade. I show you how to manage the trades. I show you how to enter the trades. I show you how to exit the trades. And, you could make $50,000 and my life has changed because making this $50,000 pays off, my kids' college, my debt, my credit card bills. My wife is happier. My husband is happier. My boyfriend, my girlfriend, my significant others, my family, my mother, grandmother, etc. Whatever it is that people need money for, which is just about every single thing on this planet, I could show you this and you would be very impressed. However, if I went ahead and I showed you that with $11.8 million dollars in bet, and it doesn't have to be one bet of 11.8 million. Let's say even if I was doing a bunch of hyper scalps in Apple, 100 shares in and out, and I made $50,000, as soon as I put up that number, everything becomes questionable. Now, all of a sudden, your commission rate plays a very big, part of all of this. You're not exactly sure how I got there. And this is the part of what Wall Street likes to hide from you. This is the things that they hide from you, which will make it impossible for you to succeed with a high cost basis. Now, of course, this is a very obnoxious example. I'm just showing you analogically, and I want to show you some members of the room as well as myself, of what we're able to do in something like this. So I'm going to start off. People were asking me a lot of the questions, and I got a flood of emails after this. People were saying, Mark, this is great. This is exactly, what I was doing. Some people were even reaching out to me saying they beat me because what happened was, I'm just showing a couple weeks of my trading here. Obviously, phenomenally consistent. If you're a Newsbeat Live member and you're following what we do here, but this is the 44,000 isn't that big of a deal. In fact, it's quite low because I started making money. I mean, most of that money was probably made in like a week and a half, but not the full, whatever, halfway through the month, whatever thing. But here's the thing: the cost basis was 444,000 and the proceeds were 487,000. So when you actually look at the cost basis, you could say, well, on average, how much money did you actually need in your account to do something like this? And if you did, in considering that I'm actively intraday trading and that from October 1st to October 18th is actually October 1st was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so 4 days in that week. 5 days the next week is 9 days. 5 days the next week. This is actually 14 trading days. If you actually divide this number by 14, on average, I would need $31,779 in an account in order to achieve that. And that is sort of near the lower ball things, to obviously achieve high numbers. So as soon as I did this video, it was the last video I did, I started getting in a flood of emails saying, Mark, you're absolutely right. This is what I'm doing now. We even got somebody making one thing that is annoying with the small accounts is just doing the math for share site. Yep, exactly. So, um, so I was getting like emails, and I just wanted to share one with you. One guy literally messages me like, and you could just see like right here, October 18th, 6:47. So literally yesterday, he's like 14.13%. I beat you, ha. And it's all because of your help. I can't thank you enough. And he went ahead and he literally sent me that. He literally sent me what his actual Schwab image looked like. And I wanted to just share that with you here because his cost basis, he actually did a full month of trading. Now, I don't know if you're aware, but they're actually 20, let's see, it's more than 20 days, which is very important to know. This is actually 23 days of trading from September 18th. He did a 1 month look at his track results, and he made $12,000, which you know, how much money would have this human being on average, we're of course averaging off, how on average, what kind of account size could have an individual like this use to accomplish results like this on average? How much money on average was he throwing a day? And if you take his cost basis of $87,477.78 and you divide it by the 23 days that he did, and he's actively trading to accomplish this P&L, he could have done it on $3,800. Now, granted, to do that, I would say that he probably would have been a lot more comfortable with five to $10,000. But just to give you an idea of what it's actually like to have very small accounts, and whether your account is big or not, just to be able to do it on a small account. Like if I have a $5 million account, for example, I don't have to throw more than 20, $30,000 worth of option trades to accomplish what's considered, if I'm batting like this, I'm making seven figures a year if I bat like this on a time frame like this. And I know trading is only getting better, and I know I'm going to actually be batting better than I do now because as I was telling you guys, the action was picking up. And it's just testimonials like these, people sending me, and I've gotten a lot of these things. My phone blew up after the last night's video. Even somebody in the room today, Newsbeat live member, and I was literally just shocked. And he just literally said it today. It's like 4:03 p.m. He literally posted this 23 minutes ago. And member of our room, I'm hiding his last name. Frank says, I can relate to that. Started back in about 2 months ago, borrowing $400 from my mortgage money. $400. I'm at a point now where I could pay my whole mortgage if I drained down all my equity, small steps. So I went ahead and I just typed out, and then I asked him. The second part you see here is I literally asked him if he had any advice for us. Like what would you recommend? Like, because we're here to help, and even though he's a member of the Newsbeat Live Room, like I was curious, like what advice would he give others from his situation? Because I didn't start with $400. Like I started with way more money than that. And he says, "Listen to what I'm told, but I kept wanting to do it my way, my trades, and kept losing." So he basically found the system, got part of the system, joined our system, and was able to change his life. According to him, if he drains down his equity right now, he could pay off his whole mortgage. He started with $400 2 months ago. And I know it sounds miraculous. The truth is, it is miraculous, but the fact is, it's still happening at an alarming rate with people around us. So, any time that you see any number and you're sitting there and you're wondering like what could you do? I mean, if you think about it, like if you're doing, for example, $100,000 a day, which is very low for some traders, and you're doing $100,000 a day and you trade for, let's say, 20 days on any given trading month, 5 days a week, 4 weeks a month, like that sort of mentality, you put forward $2 million. Now, granted, some people have prop accounts and they have very low deposits, and that could be helpful. That's why I'm saying, like, if you have a prop account and you have the buying power, that could be really helpful and whatnot. But the bottom line is, unless you have, if you have an extremely large account, and you want to make 20, if you have a $2 million account and you pull in 25 grand for the month, that's great. It probably pays all your bills. Just because you have $2 million in a trading account doesn't mean your bills are going to equate to anywhere near $25,000 on average. Of course, there's a million situations in life. Very few people have 25 grand a month in bills. Most people don't have more than 10, but with kids, college, who knows, some people a little more, a little less. Point being is stick, if you are able to stick with a strategy that has that, has a high cost basis proceeds ratio, basically like what the member just sent us in the last email right here, and a lot of people were like, I beat you, and then they're doing better than me, and that's just so humbling. Like you could just see right here, it's a little bit fuzzy. I could click on the thing, but you could just see right here, 99,000 in proceeds, about 100,000, and about 87,500 in cost basis. So he pretty much made, 12 to 12,500. Based on the cost basis, he can do it on a very small account and produce real numbers. And the beautiful thing, what I'm actually honored and humbled to say, is the person who sent me this is just another trader. I mean, he's special to me and special to our hearts, but he's just another Newsbeat story. He's just another person who is able to do it. So maybe you have a small account. Maybe you're sick and tired of excuses. Maybe you're sick and tired of gurus throwing $10 to $50,000 per trade and you just simply not having the buying power, and you're sick and tired of being stuck in that 43 to 57% paradigm where your wheels keep spinning and you can't duplicate the, gurus results. The truth is there are probably hundreds of people around me in the Newsbeat live room who are actually more consistent than me and are actually batting better than me and are actually making more on average for every dollar they put into the market. They're extracting more dollars in the market. And remember that cost thing I showed you, that includes every single losing trade. I mean, don't think for one moment that the gentleman, didn't. I mean, this is just, he just took a quick screenshot for me. I mean, the gentleman had a bunch of losing trades. Just, you know, since we're just being, straightforward honest here, and just zooming in again, you could see, this is all the gentleman's losing trades as well. So, he took a 30-day sample. Again, 23 of them were trading days, the other were weekends. And you don't need a lot of money to make this. And I am telling him, I'll tell him just like I'll tell other people in the room, and I'll tell them right now, you walk into a firm, you're looking to raise capital, you come and show them those numbers, and their jaws are going to break on the floors of how quickly it drops. They're going to wonder what on earth are they doing? And the majority of them that do come in with these numbers are just saying, I'm Newsbeat Live members. And that's, one of, in my opinion, the best way to raise capital. I bring my track record anywhere. It's just basically how much money do you want? When can you start type mentality. I want to trade from home. I don't want to trade in an office. So, I'd rather trade my own money personally. But just to give you an example and just show you the mentality of it, you don't need a lot of money. This person put $87,000 into the market over 23 trading days over the last month. I'm not cherry picking this. This is what the trader showed me. He sent it in basically saying he's beating me, and he is beating me. He is beating me. He's batting better on the proceeds than cost basis than I am, and it is just beyond impressive. It is just beyond impressive. This trader isn't doing one big trade. He's doing, a bunch of small trades, as you could see, 500 shares, 29 contracts, 11 contracts, 30 contracts. You could just see the person, is not really putting in some ridiculous amount of size. He's taking, very, very, very modest size. If you just look at the cost basis per trades that he's doing, that he even showed, here, he could probably do what he does besides for this one 500 share trade, which he made $32 on. I mean, look how he's making his money. Like, look, he has an $1,100 cost basis here, $400, $695, $1,100. I mean, you could literally do it with accounts of that size. When people come and they take these like obnoxiously large dollar positions and they think that everybody could follow them, you're probably going to end up getting chewed up. So I just thought I would show you that. I just want to show you what makes our room extremely unique to the other rooms out there on Wall Street, and why so many people are finding ultimate consistency on truly small accounts without using any excuses. If you are interested in anything we have to offer, there are links within the description. Share this video if you liked it. Thumbs it up if you liked it. Let's fight for the common person out there with very small trading accounts who really want to just give their loved ones and their families, as well as themselves, a better future, because we fight for you every single day. I hope you guys enjoyed the Newsbeat show. Happy trading, make money, and I will see you guys next time on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.